Hello, everybody. I miss you all. Wow, is really all we're probably saying. I needed to connect. It's been too long. I've sat back. I've honored all of your choices to step back, and understandably so, to assess what was going on, what we had to do to move forward for each of us individually and personally, to honor our own health and wellness, as well as what was going to be needed next at hand. And I first have to say, I'm so proud of everybody for taking the responsibility to just do that, to be able to know that what was priority, what was your priorities, and to honor your priorities. And I reached out trying to, with everybody, to let you all know that I was here for you if you needed me. For the most part, everybody sought out either different practices, new practices, or practicing on their own, and needed a break. And at first I started to almost take that personal, as in the sense that I didn't serve you well enough and that maybe I wasn't offering you what you needed. But then I came to learn from sharing dialogue with other people that it was just the process and the pathway that they needed. And I'm just so happy and proud that everybody is doing just what we do in fitness, and you're living your life and taking on this virus and everything that it brought with it. And in assessing where you were at, learning what your body needed, what your household needed, what you needed in order to nurture and honor your feelings, honor your body, and move forward. And I just wanted to catch up with you, to share with you where I'm at. So as you assess where you're at now and how you might want to move forward, that we have some open dialogue going. And I wanted to just say to you that I miss everybody, and I am still here for you through remote work. And also I'm now opening it up to one-on-one or one-on-two outside only workouts. And those workouts could be doing trail, log, interval training on the trail at Smith College. I'm working here. It's kind of like my backyard. I'm at the end of the trail here at the corner of Washington and Vernon. And I can meet there. I am not going to be doing any boxing training as far as holding mitts or anything just yet. I will be working with boxers through shadow boxing, meaning at a distance of 15 feet, and doing more or less a copy movement, and doing some shadow boxing movement responses, and doing some other types of drills that way. As far as pickleball, I have a pickleball machine in the order, and I'm very excited. And I will be offering one-on-one with the pickleball. I'm working it out with Look Park in Haydenville Courts on how I can reserve times that I can be offering. As of now, it'll be in the morning and in the afternoon, but I'm flexible. I can, if there's a court open, I can be flexible with that time. But trying to get some consistent hours that I can feel like those are available to get people into committed times. My intention with that is to try to book 1-hour sessions and to be able to work with you with drills at a distance for the two of us, and you're pretty much not even touching the balls. I'm touching the balls. So I'll be picking them up, feeding the ball machine, setting them at drills, working with you while you're doing it to address any issues that need to be addressed, helping you with whatever you can take home for homework to work on your health and wellness, for breathing. If you haven't tried pickleball, you don't need to know how to do it. I can totally introduce it to you as an awesome sport for conditioning and socializing when socializing becomes a little more popular. As of now, the courts at Look Park are going to be available for 2 people on a court, and then the next court will be 4 people on a court, and they're going to stagger it like that to keep less people playing. I'm also open for singles for those that want to play with singles without the ball machine. And I would also be open for doubles, but that won't be right now. I'm thinking more into mid-June, later June and assessing that. I am also of a high risk with my lung system, as all of you know, that I deal with a little bit of respiratory issues. You can probably hear it in my voice. Something that I'll probably have the rest of my life inherited, and also just whatever has happened in the last 3 years that I've been dealing with. So I need to be very careful. My exertion has been limited as well. I find myself into walking and power walking, and I'm so excited my stand-up board is on my car. And I've been also doing yoga and stretching and working at healing my legs so that I can have better range of motion with my knee issue, which a lot of you know that I was dealing with too. So moving forward, pickleball, one-on-one trail, other interval work in that way. I am offering my studio for one-on-one for aerial and one-on-one for the Pilates machine. But again, that's at a distance, and it's movement that can also be worn while wearing the mask. So while doing the Pilates machine, there will be intervals with it so that you're not overexerting on it, and that you can keep a healthy breathing. Stand-up board one-on-one with the stand-up board is going to be a little bit more costly with time, but I have 2 boards. It will require you to clean the board afterwards, and we will be out on a lake. I've been wanting to use the Ashfield Lake, and that's where I've been liking to go, but if we wanted to just go to Smith and you didn't mind if you ended up falling in there and you didn't mind swimming in it, then we can train in it. So Smith is an option. And what we would be doing would be Pilates, yoga, and just some basic fitness. And if we're at the lake in Ashfield or another lake near you or a pond that's clean and swimmable, we would also incorporate some in-water with the board conditioning training as well. It's pretty awesome, and especially if any of you are doing any rehab with hips or knees, this is awesome for strengthening the pelvic floor, getting on the board and doing some core strengthening, some balance and alignment work with the hips and the knees and the ankles, strengthening the sideline, doing some sideline Pilates while working with balance, while getting some fresh air and sun. And it's just so healing and so amazing. It's one of my favorite ways that I train myself starting from now until September. In my break, usually from the gym, is usually on my board. I love it. And last year was a little limited in Maine, but I did do some. But with my knee sprain, it certainly was a little tricky, but it helped me. And so I was thrilled by the end of the summer and able to have cross legs range of motion and some kneeling range of motion. Meditation, talking therapies, meditation therapies, and I'm also open to any type of social, therapeutic relationships, practices that you would like to work with, being relationship, working with, if it's just managing something that you need to manage within yourself in order to move forward with plan B, C, or D, whichever one you're on, for your work. There's a big need right now as we move forward. And I've been doing this privately. I've been doing it at Make a Donation. Pay What You Wish is my process right now. You know what the value is of a session, and I'm just saying pay what you wish. And I'm working for that, and I'm good with that. And I would like to be able to open it up to hear dialogue from you on what you've been doing, where you're at. I'd love to hear from you. And also, if you're thinking about anything this summer, I'd like to know what your thinking process is right now. Where I've been, as what I've been working on, is getting better at computer work while working online with Smith College. It was a tremendous amount of challenge for me to get into a studio, get in front of a camera, do performance training, to communicate that with 40 students, to follow all those 40 students up and keep them on track. And while they were going through what they were, I became a somatic yoga therapist, as well as I was as a physical trainer, conditioning trainer with boxing. And it's actually something that I'd like to continue to do next year, especially if education stays online, So I've been working at recertifying myself for my International Yoga Alliance therapy. I was just recertified by doing a science and non-duality conference with the most amazing brains that are out there right now from all over the world. And it was so cool to actually have them part of the Zoom conference for 4.5 hours online from their homes in Maine with their flannel shirts. And then they were like, I'm going to go mow the lawn, after they just like blew our mind for an hour and a half of this whole dialogue of mapping the mind's existence from like, back into now. And everything kept coming into the heart. It was so beautiful. And that brings me into, I said I wasn't going to cry when I did this, into where we're all at now with this. There's just so much violence, and there's so much uncertainty. And, the warrior is the one who goes into uncertainty with certainty, with what they've trained with their bodies, with what is certain, which is our groundedness in our bodies and into the earth, and seeing what beauty there is. And we have all these tools, and I hope, because I've tried to work with all of you with these beautiful tools to use right now why unsettledness happens, because it will. And yesterday was a hard day for a lot of us in this country, and we're all being challenged in so many ways, from social politics to social activism, and at a time where we're building a new relationship with ourselves. And I've always tried to bring training in that way, that you're here to develop a new relationship with yourself, meeting yourself where you're at, and building strength and honoring where that is. So if you can't lift weights one day, get on the floor, let's do Reiki. Get on the floor, let's do movement. Knowing where you're at, not bowing to getting away without doing hard work. You know what I mean. I want to train hard with the rest of you, but I also want to train the softness, and know that I'm here for you, for a walk and a talk at a distance, or a phone call, or whatever. But it's important to me, all of you are, and whether we move forward together in training or not, I consider this a family of mine, and I hope you do too, and that we always stay in touch, and that if there's anything you're ready to share now, please do. If needed, please reach out. If there's a community that needs to be served, I'll end with this, that you can think of, that my services align with, that would align. I want to hear from you about it. If you have things to share with me, I would love to know what was most difficult. 3. What were the 3 most difficult factors? If you can even just respond in this email with just that. What were the 3 most difficult experiences you had during this shutdown in your home? So I know how to prepare to assist people in the future if we were to shut down again. How, in moving forward now, how can I help people now with what they just went through? And what was the most difficult for you? If you're open to sharing that, I'll keep it private. This is between me and you. This whole experience and everything I do stays HIPAA. I honor that, and please share that too. If there's anybody that you know that needs some help right now, that would not be served from maybe traditional therapies, but are governed by the same boundaries as traditional therapies, in the sense of HIPAA and in the sense of professionalism, honesty, heart, space, and with right knowledge to know when and where my space is and my expertise lies within that boundary, and when it needs to become a referral. I'm not a doctor, I don't diagnose, but I do work with doctors, and I do work with diagnoses to assist. I work with people that are medicated, that are non-medicated, that want to do creative processes to be able to heal where they're at. I'm ready, I'm here. I'd go into a meditation and a breathing with you. I would love that, but maybe all of you are already wanting to get off of this video. But I will ask you to just put your hand on your heart and your belly for a moment and just share 2 breaths. Thank you. And peace and love to you all. Be in touch. Keep training wherever you're at. Namaste.